Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
There's breaking news out of Mahnomen County, Minnesota tonight, where investigators have confirmed to Valley News Live that a body was found outside of a home in Naytawash. The call came in just before 2 this afternoon. Authorities say at this time they have no reason to suspect foul play, but the body is being transferred to Grand Forks for an autopsy. The name of the male will not be released until family is notified. Not one, but 2 rounds of snowfall heading our way. And when it's all said and done, most of us in the valley will have some serious shoveling to do. Taking a look at the Skycam in South Fargo right now, you'd never know there's anything to worry about. So let's find out from Hutch when and where all of the snow is going to start falling. Hutch?
Well, everything gets started tomorrow out in the western and central Dakotas early in the day. Now, the system will take a little while to make its way into the Red River Valley, so most of us will be seeing some accumulating snow by the evening hours, while our western counties will have some tricky travel conditions for the evening drive. The snow system, round 1, ends on Saturday. We get a break until Sunday midday, and into Monday throughout the day. Round 2 begins with a little bit different path. The first round of snow that comes by Saturday morning will have Fargo right on the edge of some 2 to 5 inch totals, 1 to 3 to the north and east. So most of western Minnesota fairly quiet, with the heaviest from the Devil's Lake Basin through the southern Red River Valley, where isolated locations could pick upwards of a foot of snow by the end of our first system. Winter storm warnings for the path of the storm from Minot and Devil's Lake through the James and Cheyenne River valleys. It does include Fargo, Moorhead, and western Otter Tail County. So if you're in Fergus Falls, you too are in the warning. Now, we'll have details on the second round of storms. It's going to be the wet, heavy variety, not fun to shovel at all. And some wind comes with it as well. I'll have the details in a few minutes.
All right, and here's some advice for you. Make sure you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts and conditions so you can plan your day. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free. A Fargo police officer is on paid administrative leave after an officer-involved shooting that took place late last night. Officer Jacob Rood said he feared for his life before firing his gun. It happened around 11:30 as police responded to a domestic disturbance in the 3100 block of 32nd Street South. The caller reported that they reportedly told dispatch that yelling, arguing, and crying from a woman could be heard, telling a man to get out of the apartment. Police say 28-year-old Orlando Estrada came to the apartment door with a large knife when police started to enter, and that's when Officer Rood fired his weapon. It's the 4th officer-involved shooting in recent weeks in the Valley. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz reports on what's going on.
Morgan Grady says he just moved into this apartment building a month ago. So when he came home Wednesday night, about 10 minutes after a police-involved shooting, he got more than what he signed up for.
It was kind of intimidating to come on the halls. I knew that they had the cops in the stairways kind of guarding everything off. So I just kind of stayed as far back as possible.
This time, a Fargo police officer is on paid leave while the BCI helps investigate. But Moorhead Police Captain Tori Jacobson tells me there's been more police-involved shootings in the metro area in the past month or so.
We had one in rural Clay County, the State Patrol in Moorhead on the interstate, the SWAT incident in West Fargo, and then now you had Fargo's.
So what gives?
Violence is something that we're all aware of, has been on the incline across the country.
Jacobson says in addition to seeing more aggression toward police lately,
even just the fact of the decisions to flee from us in motor vehicles, we've seen increases in that as well over time.
But Jacobson says the public doesn't see the full picture, as there are many of what he calls near instances where an officer could have drawn a weapon but was able to de-escalate the situation.
Oftentimes, people are in crisis. They may be on drugs, they could be under the influence of alcohol, or have a variety of things that could be going on emotionally for them.
As for this most recent shooting, neighbor Morgan Grady says he knows the female victim.
I'm just hoping that she's okay and the son ends up, in a better situation than this.
In Fargo, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
As for Orlando Estrada, he posted a Facebook video of himself bloodied and yelling about the officer shooting him. Valley News Live will not be releasing that video because of copyright issues. The bodies of 2 fishermen that disappeared into the icy waters of Lower Red Lake last fall have been found. This morning, a group of searchers found missing fisherman's body about 150 feet away from where yesterday they found a 17-year-old drowning victim. The family tells us that the fisherman found was 29-year-old Deland Below. The 2 went missing in early November after their fishing boat capsized on Lower Red Lake. Families were informed of both recoveries and say the discovery brings sadness, but it also brings relief. The name of the 17-year-old has not been released. Autopsies will be done to determine the official cause of death. We now know the name of a homeowner who's suspected of starting a fire in her home earlier this week. Police say 64-year-old Constance Thompson was home alone at the time the fire started in the 1900 block of 29th Street Circle South. She allegedly called 911 about the fire Monday night around 9 p.m. Investigators later determined that the fire was intentionally set. No word yet on whether criminal charges will be filed against her. Sad news tonight regarding Congressman Kevin Cramer's son. This morning, the congressman confirmed in a Facebook post that his son, Isaac Cramer, had passed away at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. He wrote on Facebook, "Chris and I are grateful we were both able to be with our son Isaac Cramer at the Mayo Clinic this morning as he went to be with Jesus." Although no cause of death was given, Isaac Cramer had been suffering from failing liver and kidneys. Serious trouble for a finalist for Moorhead School Superintendent. Scott Staska has been arrested on a misdemeanor charge of exposing himself. The current Rocori superintendent was arrested yesterday. He's been released since then. Police say that Staska was seen on store video Sunday exposing himself to employees at a local Quick Trip store. He's also accused of exposing himself at least 4 other times at the same store. He's been placed on administrative leave. Student resource officers play an essential role in the lives of many children across the country. The most recent school shooting in Maryland, where an SRO stopped the shooter, puts into perspective the importance of having them at schools. Many school representatives tell us that SROs can make the difference in an emergency situation. One SRO in North Dakota says being on campus allows for the students to connect and trust him better. He says being present at the school is vital.
Much like the incident in Maryland, having a school resource officer on campus is a benefit because you get an immediate response to a threat, and that's key.
Tomlinson adds that one of the most important requirements of his job is to always be prepared. One of Governor Doug Burgum's goals has been making North Dakota a leader in the 21st century. And with that, he's announced a 100 gigabyte upgrade to the state's network for next year. Officials say this upgrade will put North Dakota schools on the nation's leading edge of internet connectivity and speed. The upgrade will position North Dakota as the first state to achieve such a high-level connectivity to every school district in the state. It'll provide teachers the opportunity to use high-quality learning techniques in their classrooms.
Our research universities don't compete regionally, they compete globally. And anything we can do to enhance the attractability of our university system is a terrific feather in our cap.
The upgrade is a 2-year contract. It won't cost taxpayers any additional money. Later on Valley News Live at 6, a new gig for one of the twin sisters who was on the gold medal winning U.S. Olympic team. Up next, a new home for North Dakota's first family.